Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to another episode of Luxe Life Discovered. Our guests today are Brandon Baxter and Bethania Baray, both all B's. I just realized that. From Jonesboro, Arkansas, and they have a new series they're starting called Northeast Arkansas. So who came up with this clever idea?
Well, not us. Not
Oh, actually, this was pitched, I guess, a year and a half, 2 years ago
Okay.
to me as an idea, and it never really came to fruition with the TV station and the radio station. And once Bethania and I met each other, we kind of clicked, and we thought we should really try this thing because there's so many great local restaurants in this area. And we put it together, we put it out there to kind of test the waters to see what was going to happen. And I think we're going to have something that's pretty special.
Well, good. So how were people when you first approached them? Because, okay, first of all, Northeast Arkansas, you're featuring chefs, restaurants in Northeast Arkansas, and basically tasting their food and giving them a review. So
That's right. That's the order. Yeah.
So that could be very encouraging to someone or very nerve-wracking. It's like
Make sure the food's good, right?
Right.
Come on.
well, that's true, but yeah, don't you know, they're like, okay, great. What if something's not in? What if I left out an ingredient and they're tasting it, and then all of a sudden it's like, So
And so far, we've been really lucky, and I think people are making sure they bring their A game when we show up, because again, they're going to get in this local area, in this regional area, they're going to get television with this, they're going to get radio with this, they're going to get the social media blitz too. So
right.
it's a really cool thing, and the idea that it hasn't been done before. Anytime you go and try to present that to people for the first time, and they're trying to figure it out and envision it, it's like, hey, let me explain why this is going to be good for your business and why this is a great tool. And it seemed like after the first what we call the pilot episode, once people were able to see it and kind of touch it and feel it, they understood it was going to be good for their business.
So
It's really a no-brainer. I mean, the name Northeast Arkansas is just kind of like, of course we want to be on Northeast Arkansas.
yeah. Oh, it's great. And it's a good play on the name with Northeast Arkansas, Northeast. So that's great. But Brandon, does Bethania go in and be like the bad cop? Like you're the good cop, I would take it, and she's the bad cop?
Now, if you look at us, you would think that I'd be the bad cop
Right.
and all the way.
Oh, I figured that. Yeah.
That's exactly how this goes. I've learned a lot about her over the course of the last 2 months, I guess.
Yeah.
I've learned basically, much like my home life, to just say yes, to just agree, because I'm never going to be right. So I'm just going to go ahead and go along for the ride.
Right. Well, that's the part of being a man as you get older. You just learn what battles to fight and when to just smile. So I'm still learning that. Yeah.
Today with my wife on my radio show here in Arkansas, I was telling a story of us going to Nashville. Evidently, the way I told the story did not put her in a real flattering light about enjoying the scene of Broadway with all the people out there after a football game. And I've already been in trouble today. So that's one that I've offended. I'm sure I'll offend her before the end of this. So
Yeah. I agree. Even if I don't know what it's about, I'm like, your wife is right.
You're like, yes, there's a guy at church that always says, Deb, I don't know what you said, but whatever it is, you're right. And I'm like, don't do that to her because it makes it harder on me. And if I ever get a text from my wife that's capital letters delete, then I know to go on Facebook and take off my last post because I know exactly what that means now. So you learn those things. So.
No, yeah, and you would think I would know better. I've been married, I think, 15 years, and I still learn every single day.
Oh, yeah.
That when I open my mouth, I can sometimes put my foot right in it. So.
Well, she did tell him this morning to not talk about her on the air, and look what he's doing right now.
That's right. It's all positive, though.
Yeah, of course it is.
I'm taking all positive vibes from it. Yeah. So,
Thank you.
she's helping him be a better person. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'll learn at some point.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that you talk about that. I should be like the bad cop that coming in, maybe I should be the more critical one of the food.
Right.
I'm liking this idea.
Yeah, like throw some food down or something and say, you call this acceptable? I mean, really throw them off. Yeah. So
It's like she's Simon Cowell from the original American Idol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, the food has actually been really good, So far, I mean, it's just been incredible, the food that they give us.
So where all have you gone so far? Like how much have you recorded already? And
how many restaurants would you say we've recorded? Like 7, 8?
Yeah, we're up. I think we have a total of 12 booked already before the first one even airs, which I think is pretty strong.
Yeah.
We started at a local restaurant, J Town's Grill, which is kind of one of my favorite places to go. And
right.
they have great burgers, and they have a great cheesesteak sandwich and great wings and all that fun stuff. So that was kind of where we tested the waters on it, and we realized that we had a concept that we thought was going to work. And since then we've done a place called Rice Box, which is hibachi style and boba tea and the bubble tea. Let's see here, we've done a salad station. We just shot one a little bit earlier at a place called Delilah's. We've done Skinny J's. I mean, we're making our way around. We've done Uncle Taco, so a little bit of everything. And the great thing is more people are hearing about this. We're hearing more people come to us, as media people say, hey, how can we be involved?
Yeah. Well, and you've got so many great restaurants in just not only Jonesboro, but Northeast Arkansas as well. So that's, I mean, gosh, what a gig. That's sweet.
Yeah, well, that was the original thing that we talked about is, we kind of focused on Jonesboro City, Jonesboro proper at first. And we thought, man, you have the Paragoulds and the Walnut Ridge and the Harrisburgs and all the different places around here, because there's a whole bunch of people. There's a whole bunch more food than just what exists in the city of Jonesboro. But if you looked at in the old days of Yellow Pages or pulled up Google and just saw the restaurants in Jonesboro city limits, it's crazy how many are here already and continuing to pop up.
Yeah. Now, this goes back to my college days at Arkansas State, but Grandpa's was a restaurant out by Riceland Food. And that is not there anymore, of course, but it was just a good hole in the wall, but it was just a good Southern food. And one of the things that was interesting about that is that above the cash register was a framed pair of scissors, surgical scissors. And they were left in after an operation, and they had to go back and get the scissors. And I promise I'm not making that up. And so they were framed at Grandpa's. And so now somebody will probably hear this and think that's not true, but it is. As far as I know, that was the story. So yeah.
What years were you at Arkansas State?
Oh gosh, I graduated with my bachelor's in '82 and master's in '86. So yeah. So
can we reflect on the restaurants that were here when you were here? Because like for me, I moved here in 1998 to do Memphis Wrestling on Channel 5 out of Memphis. But there were so few restaurants. I mean, you had the 501 Club, you had Front Page Cafe.
Yeah, this was back before even all of that. I mean, we're talking, Jonesboro was very small. I mean, it's, nothing like it is now. So most of them were just like hole in the walls, like Grandpa's and that type, establishments that had been there for years, before that. So it's interesting to see all the, like Omar's 501, like you're talking about, all the downtown that is developed and taken off and just, revitalized that area. So.
When I first started in radio, I did my first year at a radio group that's downtown. And I remember them talking about wanting to kind of rebuild the downtown area. And the most exciting thing that was happening in downtown at that point was the fact that a Subway opened up downtown. And I'm talking about Subway sandwiches. That was the big thing happening in downtown Jonesboro in 2001. So it's crazy to look at what's happening.
Well, it's just, and the level of the restaurants has changed also. They're not the chain restaurants. There are a lot of custom, designed restaurants like Omar's, for example. There are two new ones downtown that I haven't been to yet, and my mind's at Parlor. Is that one? No.
Parsonage, possibly.
Yeah, the Parsonage.
The Parsonage is downtown. Is that the one you're talking about?
We've lost audio. We cannot hear you.
Do what?
It should be back now.
Or can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So we'll go back then. So we'll forget the part. So what? Okay, the Parsonage is downtown, and then the Social. What is the Social?
Social. That's not downtown. That's on Johnson. Yes.
That's out by that new development out. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
they have delicious food. They also do have bowling. You can kind of have events there, but it's a really, really nice space. Okay. And it's locally owned, and that's our whole goal, is to really highlight, locally owned businesses and restaurateurs.
Right.
And obviously we want to expand, but I think, really highlighting the food. And, I just noticed the A-State students just moved in, and so they don't know, maybe some of them they don't know where to go eat, when they're living here in Jonesboro. And so that's what we're here for.
True. Well, also Wilson, Arkansas, there's a couple of new establishments there that I'm thinking, I didn't know Wilson was coming back on the.
Oh, we lost your audio again.
Okay, are we back?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. What I was saying, the Grange in Wilson, that is a new place. You need to check that out. So I don't know if it's more appetizers, bar type food, but it's something.
Paul?
It's called the Grange, Grange. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll send you a link to that too. But I've noticed that on social media as well. So it's just fun to see not just Jonesboro, but local communities that are having their own specialties, like Chow and Paragould. They're,
Yes.
That's great food and just the atmosphere. And it's fun to see, like they do the dinner outside on Pruitt. I can't think what it's called, but that's a neat little fall event that they have downtown in Paragould. So I think that's all good to bring back the local atmosphere and not get away from. We kind of lost our little close knit, vibes in some ways with different communities. So yeah.
Paragould, we talked about Jonesboro's downtown. Paragould's downtown looks tremendous. I went through there just a couple of months ago to an event. They've done a tremendous job at really rebuilding that and bringing business into that downtown area. So that's somewhere definitely that we want to get. We started as kind of Jonesboro based because it was the easiest thing for us to be able to do
Sure.
quick to get the show on the air. But we can't wait to be able to get out to Paragould because there's so much to highlight there.
Well, you both may get so busy with this that you won't have time for TV or the radio. It's just like we have a show to do. Come on,
I ran into my first deal this morning where I was asked about doing an event that was next week, and I had to break it to them that we had a filming at a different restaurant.
Oh.
And they kind of looked at me like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be the priority. And I get that. It's the job that pays the bills, but we're going to try to do the best to balance all of this and to have fun. And to, basically the synergy, one of the things we talked about as we were kind of working together as, KJNB and East Arkansas broadcasters was just developing a better synergy. And it's not just about the food. It can be about the other things that we want to tackle as media too, just because we're in media and yeah, sometimes we all compete for the same dollars at different levels. We still can partner and work on things together that are going to be fun. This is step one of that process with EAB and KJNB.
Well, that's good. And that'll be a good partnership for sure. So speaking of that, Bethania, tell everyone what you do. Refresh us on your role at KJNB and tell us what all you do. And then Brandon will cover your background too. So for anybody that's watching or listening, may not know about your background in radio and TV, we'll refresh their memory.
Yeah, so I'm Bethania, and I work at KJNB, which is the local Jonesboro Fox and CBS TV station. We also have the Me TV station as well. But I'm basically a TV host, a TV personality here. I do a lot of different things. I have a segment that's my own called This Is Home Today, where I highlight local businesses, nonprofits, events, people making a difference in Northeast Arkansas. And then I also do a community calendar, which airs during commercials all day long. I do a couple of different segments. I do like the scouting report and sports and all these things. But yeah, that's what I do here, and it's really fun. And then now I get to work with Brandon, and we're having a blast. We have our segment, and so that's my role here. I don't have, as you've interviewed me in your podcast, I don't have a TV background or anything like that, but I do have acting and opera background. And so that's my background.
You would never know you don't have a TV background. You're natural. So that's just perfect. Yeah. And then Brandon, you're with East Arkansas Broadcasting Group.
Yeah, that's correct. So I've been with them since they came back into the Jonesboro market, which was 2007. I originally worked for Clear Channel / iHeartMedia. That's where I got into radio. I'm an operations manager, VP of programming, morning show host, program director. In this day and age of radio, you kind of do multiple different things. Our morning show, which we call Arkansas's Morning Show with Brandon and Kelly, airs on Jonesboro's flagship station, which is KFIN, 107.9 KFIN. We're also heard in Russellville, Arkansas, in Stuttgart, Arkansas, in Dumas, Arkansas, and We're soon to add another one. So our morning show footprint is really taking up a whole bunch of Arkansas. So we're excited about that growth. As she mentioned, her background is so different than what my background was because, she was in opera and acting. I wasn't in acting necessarily, but I did professional wrestling from the time I was 14 until.
I was going to say, I thought you said that. I thought I heard that a minute ago. So
yes, it's a really weird thing. That was my dream. I wanted to be, 6'5" and 280 pounds with long hair. Obviously, it didn't turn out quite like that. But I started on wrestling television when I was 14 on ESPN on a show called the Global Wrestling Federation. And then I moved to Memphis when I turned 18 to wrestle for a guy named Jerry the King Lawler. Yes. On NBC, WMC TV5 in Memphis. And I did that for, golly, I guess 6 years. And television really changed, especially wrestling television in 2001. The national companies got even bigger. Cable television got bigger. And local TV stations weren't paying to have that programming anymore. They were letting people pay them to be on the air with paid programming. So wrestling went away and radio was there. I had radio friends in Jonesboro. And I was really honestly just looking for a job to get me through until I moved back to Texas. And then I kind of fell in love with radio. It was like a second passion. And here we are 22 years later, and I'm still here doing what I love to do. So.
Okay, so Jerry the King Lawler, is he not trying to wrestle some still?
He was wrestling up until probably 6 or 8 months ago. He had a massive attack on Monday Night Raw. And I remember I wasn't watching the live episode when it happened, but my phone started to blow up because people know, like I've been friends with him since I was 18 years old, and people were saying, hey, check on the King, something's going on. And, we watched him have a heart attack live on television.
Oh, wow.
On Monday.
I didn't realize that. I thought somebody said he was. I'm thinking, okay, he's been at it a long time. So I guess my point was, do you ever have any desire to get back into it?
Every once in a while I'll talk to a buddy involved in 2015, I was determined I was going to start a wrestling company with my friend Jeff Jarrett. He had this vision to start what was going to be called Global Force Wrestling. I was ready to move to Nashville. And, at that point, things were just, I had literally given my notice to the radio station and decided to hang on. Let's pump the brakes and make sure this wrestling thing's going to work out. And, we gave it a good go. We did television tapings in Las Vegas, 3 different sets of those. But, it wasn't meant to be at the time. And it's funny how life works out, where all the things that, you hope for when you hope to have new opportunities and you hope to grow and leave. And you're kind of depressed when those things don't come to fruition. And then you realize later on that maybe things turned out just.
Yeah. Well, I'm listening to that. And that's why I wanted you both to give your background again to let people know more about you and how this coming together would be such an interesting segment. But what I'm hearing, though, more than anything is one segment at least, where Bethania's a bad cop and you just pile drive somebody. Yeah, there you go. I think that would be good. Yeah. This is what you don't want to do when we come. Yeah.
You know what? We haven't even thought this whole thing through.
We need to do themed episodes. We could do a one and we could do an opera one.
That's right. Yeah. See, we're going to this is why I like to do this. I'm helping you guys out in the process. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, but it's the great thing about what we're doing, and the great thing with the team at KJNB is they're wide open to kind of allowing us to create this in the vision that we want, and we're working our way through and kind of figuring out how our chemistry works. I think we have a natural friendship, and obviously, not really that natural, but when you think about her background and you think about my background, opera to professional wrestling, they sound so different. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're both trying to entertain and perform. It's just different levels and forms of entertainment. So I think we both kind of have that natural, whatever showmanship that is. So I think when you see what we have and what we've done so far, it's going to be fun. It's going to be cute. And at the end of the day, it's going to be great for local business.
And I have to mention, Rick, and I'm going to mention it forever. This man has misophonia, which means that he does not like chewing noises, which is
really?
Do the segment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's going to be interesting. So if you ever see him cringing, I'm going to know that you're doing it on purpose.
Well.
No, she will do it on purpose.
I will. I haven't yet because I'm a nice person. But honestly, I don't feel like I haven't bothered you with my chewing yet.
I'm so into eating this food that it doesn't bother me so far. And she's asking me after every episode, "Did you hear me eat?" Because I tell
That's
people
great.
it's something I want to have. Like this literally is a problem. I have a problem where if I hear somebody chewing, smacking, and it doesn't have to be at my table, it could be 5 tables away.
It's just like,
This, and I'm going, oh, it's driving me crazy, and I want to leave a restaurant. My family, we barely ever all eat at the same table unless we're in a restaurant because we all kind of have different levels of it.
oh,
So
wow. Wow.
yeah, the idea is, when she gets into food, man, there's one thing you're going to see in Northeast Arkansas, and man, she gets animated and she starts dancing. She feels this food. But I've yet to hear her smack or slurp, but I'll let you know when I do.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be obvious, I think, when you do. It's like if they don't edit that out. Yeah.
If we do Italian food where noodles or soup, it's over.
Yeah. I can see her just like slurping a noodle now. Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do soup.
Like ramen.
Hey, I'm game.
Yes. Okay.
What is it?
Ramen. I feel like
Oh.
we should go have ramen.
Yeah, that would be good. He's going to be sick that day. He's like, I'm not feeling well.
I don't know. I think about that being the noodles I would eat when I was broke, like, hey,
I
these are
know,
30.
yeah. And that's like a trendy thing now. Yeah.
It's so much better than that. Are you kidding me? The new ramen place here, have you been? Clearly not.
I have not.
Hey, Brandon, it's like Lunchables, charcuterie. It's all the same thing.
Oh, that is the same thing. Yeah, you're right. And it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had it when we were poor. Now we're paying a fortune for it later. So, yeah.
That's kind of a fun thing to talk about then.
Like
Because-
nostalgia, like
yeah.
yeah. Charcuterie boards, ramen, yeah.
I think so much of what we think about, we're kind of raised to eat the food that our parents used to eat. And maybe you guys are like me, but I used to love going to the places what do they call them? The meat and three,
Yeah.
where you get the meat and vegetables
Right.
inside, or like the Luby's
Meat and three,
cafeteria.
yeah.
Place. I love those places.
Cool.
I can tell Bethania's never had any.
No, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Today we got to go to a place that was like authentic Mexican treats, which is what I grew up with. Like I ate that every day on the street,
Yeah.
and so Brandon got to try some of those things, and it was really fun for me to kind of like introduce him to new flavors. And you're really great.
No, and I love it. Like I love food, and that's one of the things that we can agree on. We don't agree on much, but we both enjoy food. And I can tell you, Rick, the way today's filming went, we had allotted like an hour to film everything. And Bethania typically is like, oh, it's an hour, I gotta go. She's ready to hit the bricks. Today, oh, let's keep eating. So I knew we had places she was enjoying.
And it's always the smaller girls that can eat the most. Just saying,
She's down, man.
I know. Well, something else that would be fun to do on your segment. I'm thinking for you here. You
Okay.
have some college students together and serve them meals that they may have never experienced before, and just kind of get their reactions.
No, because college kids, I have a 14-year-old or a soon-to-be 14-year-old. Just the idea of making him try some of the stuff that we ate as a kid. Let me tell you this. So my wife, we first got together, and she was wanting to make me one of the things she used to eat as a kid. We were different backgrounds, and she busted out a can of Spam. Have you ever had that?
I was thinking Spam earlier. Yes.
So she plops the Spam out of the container, right? You can almost hear it come out. Then she sliced it and she fried it with cheese on top of it. And
Did you like it?
honestly, no. The first bite was okay. The second bite, I was like, "What the heck is this that I'm eating?"
She didn't fry it to put the cheese on it.
Oh yeah, it was
Oh,
fried.
fried. Okay, yeah.
So I mean, and she did the best she could on something that she really liked as a kid, but just different palates, I guess.
There was something I saw an advertisement for Spam not so long ago, and Spam actually stands for something. I can't remember what it is now, but they were making it sound like it was some kind of like delicacy, and I'm like, no.
It's shoulder of pork and ham.
Shoulder pork and ham.
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah,
have you- Yeah.
but you're right. But it does make that sound.
Oh.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, when it comes out of the can. Yeah.
But the next time we talk to you, Rick, I'm going to make her try Spam on your show.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Never had it.
I've never had it.
So what did you eat? Like, what was your customary food growing up? Because I ate very much Southern food. I ate Texas food. Pot roast and spaghetti.
Yes.
And
The good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what was your normal?
Just like beans, rice, tortillas, enchiladas, all of that typical Mexican
Right.
cuisine.
Still
Yeah.
good
Hey, her-
stuff, yeah.
I didn't realize this until like last week or a couple weeks ago. Her family owns a restaurant.
Yeah, I remember you telling us that, yeah, in New Mexico.
That's right. Yeah.
See? I can't remember the town, but I do remember the state. Yeah.
Truth and consequences.
Truth,
Is it
why can I not remember that? That's it, yeah. That's it, yeah.
That's where I'm from. That's my hometown.
From Truth or
Well,
Consequences.
and you know what? That would be a good place to do a segment for your show.
Take us out to Truth or
Yeah.
Consequences.
Yeah. I mean, no one here would watch it, but
Oh, we'll make the show fun no matter where we go.
Yeah.
I've been pitching her. We need Jerry the King Lawler. We mentioned him a second ago. He's a WWE Hall of Famer and all that. I'm just saying this because his restaurant on Beale Street in Memphis is tremendous. He has all of his memorabilia, his championship belts, his crowns, his capes, his robes, and all this stuff in the restaurant. And I'm telling her
That would be good. Yes.
It'd be great.
I think that's a smart idea.
And he's so relevant to this area. Obviously the Channel 5 wrestling show came into the Northeast Arkansas area,
Yeah.
and for 40 years he was on television every weekend.
He's a great ambassador for Memphis,
Oh,
So, yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your show and your segments, and I appreciate you taking the time today. I know we kind of went on different tangents, but that's what I like about doing this because, we may have one clear, avenue that we want to travel down, but we take a lot of little side streets along the way, and it just allows people to get to know everyone better. And so it's going to be more fun when everybody watches your show now and they know that you don't like slurping and smacking, and then Bethania is really the bad cop. So they're going to be looking for, like, what is she going to do next? Yeah.
I want our audience to know that if they actually hear a review coming out of me, it's a miracle because Brandon talks the entire time.
Oh, really?
And it's just, I just want them to know.
She said to me the last time not today, but the one previous, she said, "Will you please let me get one word in?" I'm providing content, but maybe I don't.
You're going to have to learn to just speak up, Bethania.
You're not wrong, but also it shows that, he comes from radio. So he's really,
Yeah.
and he fills time. If there's a dead space, he can fill it. And so
like-
he's going to fill the space.
If she's about to breathe, man, I'm in there.
That's right. You're not letting the space go to waste. Yeah. I don't blame you. So where can people see this? When does it air? And where can they watch this?
So we air the 11th, September 11th,
Okay.
which is Monday.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, so we air Monday. So it's going to be every Monday, Tuesday during Northeast Arkansas News. So
Okay.
on Fox, that's 9 p.m. CBS, that's 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay.
And we'll also post it on our websites, or on the KJNB website.
Sure. Yeah, and we'll do it on our social media stuff as well. If you guys want to give us a follow, we might as well while we're here.
Please,
if you're
yes.
cool with it,
Yeah,
Rick.
tell us about it.
Instagram, you can find me, and on Facebook, Instagram both, Brandon Baxter in the Morning, and on Twitter or X, Brandon on BBITM. We'd love to, for anybody who's watching and wants to learn more about us, there's a good way to see about, us and our families. So.
And we are on Facebook, Northeast Arkansas News, KJNB.
Okay. Thank you guys both for being with me today. I appreciate it. I knew it was going to be fun. And Brandon, it's good to finally have a little bit of connection here. I know, like I said, we've known each other, but it's fun to have you. And Bethania, always great to see you. She's just a little ball of energy, isn't she? I mean, it's just.
Way.
I got to tone it down because this one is a lot of energy.
She's awesome. She's awesome. And I just told her this a week or two ago. The reason I'm doing this segment is because I feel like we have a fun, different dynamic that we can bring, and I'm excited to work with her and to kind of see where this goes.
Well, good. I look forward to seeing it. So we will talk with you soon. This is Rick Steiner, and thank you for joining us for Luxe Life Discovered.
Check out Luxe Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Luxe Life Discovered.